Cue Radio News. We're back again. It's anemoi time.
It is anemoi time.
This is like, okay. Let me put this into perspective here. We went in like expecting that we were going to get all this new info on the stream itself, but like 5 hours prior to the stream, they launched the website for anemoi. And
they did it right before most of us were about to sleep, and I'm not a fan of that because I had a hard time sleeping after that.
Same. But the thing is, I feel like 90% of what we're going to talk about today was shown on the website and not actually in the stream, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah. Actually, to kick off the episode, I'll read off the poem that they put in the introduction section, because I feel that's a very fitting way to start the episode. Just off cuff, it's super exciting. But the poem is in the like introduction part of it, like right before the story summary, and it reads: "The golden sea gently swayed, enveloped in the slow passage of time, surrounded by nostalgic whispers, promises blow in the wind."
It's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Okay, so where do we want to start? We've got a lot to get into.
I think we do need to just mention that the colors absolutely freaking stunning.
The shading, colors. The lighting, it's like all of it.
It's so soft.
Not like Summer Pockets at all, really. Like
Summer Pockets, I thought was Key's best work visually up until this point in terms of just raw visual style. Just because like it was gorgeous like for the time, but like its backgrounds were still really realistic. This is highly stylized backgrounds that really mesh with the characters real well, and the character shading itself is so soft. Like all of them look.
Love it. I love the look of it.
There's no harsh lighting, which is something I noticed, which is something very common in Key, is very harsh lighting highlights. It's not here, and they just look very, very squish.
They're so cute.
They are squish. They're very cute. Something that people have mentioned is that this cast does seem a bit younger than other Key heroines. I kind of see it.
They did mention this on the stream too.
Yeah, and I do kind of see it. I'm personally still open to like how these are written, because personally, as long as they're written well, I don't mind. And like Ayu exists, she's like Moe, and is also like one of the she's a true heroine, and she's also the smallest. So Key can write small characters. We love them.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm just gonna say it. I'm kind of a fan. I'm kind of a fan of this choice.
We're about to talk about Kudrout later, so that's very, very topical.
True, yeah. I didn't think of it that way, but that's absolutely right. So yeah, we got a story summary as well. Uti, do you have that up, or you want to read it, or not really?
I mean, I can try my best off cuff. I'll do my best. Basically, the story summary, if I was like to read it, I'd say buried 10 years ago, the day to open the time capsule is approaching. The main character, Mugi Hayakawa, and his younger sister, Rika, visit a town by the name of Masumi in northern Japan. And then the town makes you forget the hustle and bustle of the daily life of the city, where time passes slowly along with the strong winds. This is a very rough TL, by the way. I'm not edited at all, just reading.
Fair.
Take your time.
The town is blessed by large windmills. It's a life built on experience, wisdom, and the human connection. Oh, hey, that's the theme of season 5.
Yeah, like.
And until the time comes to open the time capsule, Mugi will live a slow life in the town, interacting with people as time moves on.
I love this premise so much. Like, I really just wanted to geek out about this because, like, this is like, it's similar to Summer Pockets in that you're like introducing your main character into the town, and it's about the community. But this time, the big difference that's going to make this feel instantly different is that he comes with a purpose. And, like, it's not just, like...
quite an opposing thing compared to Hyrie.
Right, because, like, Hyrie's there to, like, clean up the shed, but that's not his true purpose. This is, like, a lot more clear why he's here and why Rika's here. And you can tell they're going to be staying here for a while because Rika gets herself a job at the daycare, which is something that we learned today as well.
These routes will not deal with the impending end of summer vacation like Summer Pockets does. It'll deal with life moving on, and I think that's really cool. I embellished a little bit because at the end where it's talking about, like, it didn't actually bring up, like, the time capsule again, but, you know, it makes sense to bring it up again just to, like, link it back to the time capsule and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also, like, there's, like, a specific phrase repeated about, like, the passage of time, so, like, where technically it's just, like, time moves on, but, like, time passes slowly is kind of, like, how I would interpret it. But that aside, you get the idea of the story intro. I'm very interested in this slowed down, chill life that they're presenting, because Summer Pockets was kind of chill. Like, it was disconnected from the bustle of the city, but there was a lot on Torishima Island to do. Torishima Island to do. You know, the characters were very loud and stuff, but yet this one feels more like it's presenting itself as, like, this is the slow place. People are chill. I mean, they specifically brought up, like, the fact that this town is, like, a town of wisdom and
it is still a working town. Pretty much all of these characters are confirmed to have jobs of some kind, which I have to think, and they kind of sort of implied this in the stream, but it not necessarily interpreted this way, is that the mini games are related to the characters' jobs, and there are going to be a lot of mini games.
That would be very clever. I would love
very much looking forward to this.
I am too. Yes. I mean, that just means that we're gonna have an insane amount of mini games. Give me mail delivery mini game.
I would love that. I would love that if something like that happened.
Yeah, like Little Buster's Baseball, like, mini games have just kind of been a thing with a lot of mainline keywords, especially Summer Pockets.
Since Little Buster's, mini games are a staple of full-length keywords. Like, we will not see another full-length keyword without them. It just won't happen.
Never say never, but unlikely.
It's highly unlikely. I mean, they acknowledged how much of a staple it is.
Yeah.
It's important. They're really fun, and, like, having, like, one for each heroine, I feel like has a lot of potential for a lot of interesting things, though. The immediate thing that does come to mind in that case is, will they get, like, a fully dedicated route like what Summer Pockets got? Because that was, like, what, like, Reflection Blue really made good with the minigames, that they get a dedicated route for them.
Did we ever get translations for the visual style, the rough note for their, like?
Yes, we already did an episode on it, so
was
I don't know if we need. You were there. We read through them.
My brain was not brain.
It was back in December, so it's been a while, but I did cross-reference it. The character descriptions that we have on the website are identical to the ones in the rough note, so I don't think we need to go over those again. You can go back and watch that episode if you want to hear our thoughts on those. And it sounds like, Uttori, you might need to do that to refresh.
Well, in fairness, I'm not really remembering much of what we've done in the past right now.
That's
because
fine.
I spent a whole day in a non-AC'd house.
Understand.
Or a non-AC'd store. My
Place.
store's AC broke, and I am, you know, a Floridian, so that was rough.
It's rough, for sure.
I love Spica's quote where it's basically just the opening line where she's like, "I'll just be blowing in the wind," Like,
The
it's-
subtitle is literally "A Girl in the Wind" or something.
yeah. These designs are
Chibi
so
vibing.
adorable. Now, I have to do it. Forgive me for it. I
no,
just want to say I was right about Kimishima Ao. I was
Okay.
right. I
I mean-
was so
So
right.
well.
She fits in with these other artists so seamlessly, and yet Aino still has like a level of uniqueness to her that just it's the perfect balance. I'm
It's
so
her-
happy she's in this game.
it's her jacket and her sneakers.
And her
I love the
smile.
jacket. I love the
Her
jacket.
smile
The jacket
is so cute.
Such a pop.
Actually, no. Objectively, it's the Thuffin.
Well, yeah, that too, but
Goggles. He's like a Digimon main character. Whoa.
Yeah. I like her quote too, where she's like, "You'll know it when you see me fly. You'll see how great I am." Basically.
aw.
I believe in her.
Yeah, and she has an umbrella. That's something new we learned today, is that she has an umbrella, and it's really
Duck
cute.
umbrella.
The duck
It has
umbrella,
the
yeah.
duck umbrella. It's very moe and very cute. And we love that in a key heroine.
Yes. So we do have a release year of 2025, which like that's everyone knew that basically. It's just
Yeah,
now we've heard it from the horse's mouth. Like
He confirmed we're not getting it this year, but no one should have expected it this year.
no, we all
Especially
knew it
with
was
all
going to
the
be
stuff coming
2025.
out, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else anemoi related? Because we've got like a whole bunch of smaller things to mention, but anemoi is like the one where we got the most stuff. Please check out the website if you haven't already, because it's beautiful.
I like Koyomi's quote as well. Like, I'm just reading through the quotes right now.
Oh yeah.
I think my main comment on Anemoi would be I love, like, people. He heard people saying one of the biggest critiques of Summer Pocket's art style was the way it was shaded and the depth of these characters. And they're like, bet, let's just go.
Yeah.
overcharge for them.
Read the
Koyomi's
quote.
is, to the best of my own interpretation, because my brain is tired and code switching is very difficult sometimes, is I'm looking for someone to deliver an important letter to all day, all the time. So just very interesting, because like who's the important person?
What letter is she delivering?
Deeply mysterious. Rika's quote is also kind of hilarious. This one's just funny. It fits right in with her personality. Just a sec, I'm pulling it up.
Rika's my favorite
made a
girl
nice
so far. I'll
choice.
still throw that
Yeah.
out there.
Like,
Brother, you're magnificent. Just constantly
Yeah.
yes man.
I know I'm going to
Yeah.
love her already. Like
Rika is like, she's so funny. The moment like you see her, like her profile is literally just she likes her brother. She supports her brother. She doesn't like guys unless they get along with her brother.
yeah, also apparently her casual outfit is the most erotic he has ever created.
Thank you.
They kind of teased that a little bit, but they might change it. I don't know.
Thank you, Keisha. We'll have to wait and watch. I will say
Yeah.
her design is like my favorite out of these bunch. I love.
Chi says, please no incest key. That has already been confirmed. Rika's route will not be romance related. We already know that for a fact. So
Yeah, that was mentioned in the first channel.
incest complainers, you got nothing to worry about.
And then for the sake of completing, Hino's
Oh, Hero, yes.
Hiro, my bad. I am batting 1,000 a day on reading.
You are all good.
80 degrees in that store. Hers is very interesting. It's just your choices are very good.
She's
Yeah.
they made a point to talk about how eccentric she is, so like I wonder if we just don't get the meaning of that one yet.
Wait a second.
It doesn't relate to her being like a store owner. I recall some like what was her
She
job
works at
again?
an observatory.
Okay.
Just
Interesting.
give me a second.
Because
Yeah, so
the quote gives me the energy of like a store owner.
to go through the jobs
There's
while
a character
Uki's
I
doing
don't
that.
recognize here, so my brain might just be wrong. Let me
You're
pull up a
okay.
dictionary.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. I'll go through the jobs while you're doing that. Hiro works at an observatory. Koyomi works for the postal service. Aino is kind of an inventor, but she also kind of works with her father on repairing planes and stuff. Spica works at a pizza restaurant, and who did I miss? Rika. Rika works at a daycare.
Oh, okay. I figured it out.
What
It's
is it?
Kimi no Sentaku wa kotemo iwane, which is literally just your choice is very good, almost like your selection is good. So it could be in reference to picking like one of, because observatories have multiple shows. Maybe it's in reference to picking a show.
Maybe. Yeah. God, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
God, the
Except
fact
I have to wait.
It's so fun that these guys all have jobs too, because like that was honestly, it's the first time in Key we've had an entire cast that is fully employed.
I can relate to that now.
Miki was like the watchtower girl, but for the most part, that wasn't an employment. She was doing volunteer work. Al
worked at the candy store.
And was also like a shrine maiden. Same with Shiroha. But like most of these guys don't have like jobs that like occupy their whole day.
Right.
Which means we're probably going to see the majority of these characters, like especially in the slice of life.
I think the part of the reason for that is because Key's casts are like high schoolers. Most of them typically can't get a job because that's seen as a bad thing. But I guess they're just changing things up with this, which to be fair, I'm very open for.
Well, that's the kind of thing, is that this is a pretty isolated town. So, you know, they're if the population is small, more people need to work. Like that's something I've noticed when because like I've been reading more about Hokkaido recently, and also reading more VNs set there, is that like Hokkaido is just kind of a different breed. And it's really cool.
Both Hokkaido and the southern Okinawa. They're both
the southern
part of
islands.
Japan, but they're basically entirely different, like in terms of like culture and lifestyle. Because they are like separate. They have such a different like culture to them that almost feels like different. Like Okinawa is closer to Hawaii than it is to Japan, despite being in Japan.
Yeah. It's so
what
weird.
I'm really hoping, because this is because they're employed, right? Like all of them have a job, is that we'll maybe see a lot more evening time scenes where like we get like sunset BGs and stuff. Because
I would love this.
That was a time of day that I feel like if Summer Pockets was lacking a time of day, it was that like middle of the evening, like late afternoon. You didn't get it often. Not really. It was either bright or night. Which in most cases is how it works. But if they're all employed, like, you know, they're getting off work and probably hanging out as well. This is entirely speculation on my part. I really hope that though that like we do get to see just like them actually at work for a lot of the route, just like, you know, because it would be very real, like these characters just having work trouble, you know, like, man, this one customer. I would relate heavily to it.
Don't even bring that up to me right now.
They did imply that Koyomi will they call it a black workplace. I guess that means like great working conditions.
Yeah. That implies just like a rough working condition.
Yeah. I'm very interested as well into just seeing how like these jobs will actually like mesh into the overall narrative, because like it's a very intentional decision, because obviously like for them to make a point that every character is employed means that it's of some level of importance to anemoi. Interestingly enough, though, I think the observatory is the most interesting one because this will be coming right off the tail end of the 25th anniversary like celebration. So if anemoi comes out anytime within this 25th anniversary year, like maybe even like spring, I would wonder. I'm just curious to see if maybe it's like, hey, here's a story that's kind of referential in of itself and almost like a celebration of 25 years of Key. Because like anytime I see like an observatory or a planetarium, I instantly think of like planetarian. So I was like, that's a weird choice, and like. And none of the other jobs really scream like referential, except daycare with Sanai. Like Sanai used to do daycare work.
That is awesome.
So it's like there's just a few things that are like
Pizza
triggering.
is referential of Key themselves because it has been a tradition since the beginning at the company that everyone orders pizza when they're in development crunch.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what mail would have to do with a reference to Key or
that one I don't know.
Or Aino's job. Like neither of those really.
She's like kind of like a mechanic.
Yeah, so like those are the two where I'm like, man, I don't see the explicit reference, but like it is interesting that at least for like 3 of them, I can kind of see how like we've seen these before in Key. There's a lot of things where I'm like, I've seen this before, or I would be like, I wonder how much of anemoi will be like, wow, that's new, but also the same. Like nothing's really changed. Which is kind of how it feels. Like I look at this cast, and while they're wildly unique, I also feel like, and this is like not a criticism, this is like a 100% positive. They feel familiar already.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I have a few comments on that. My main thing is that one of the main reasons I and a lot of Key fans I know are fans of Key is because of their nostalgic atmosphere. I mentioned this before, I'm pretty sure. But anemoi seems to like directly hone in on those kinds of feelings, that kind of like nostalgia, that wish for having a rest from every day. I almost wonder if this is like going to like target those types of people with a message that's relevant to them, because like Key has always been a brand that sends messages into its fans based on those kinds of like real life things. We have Little Busters, which is about like adolescence and growing up. We have Clannad, which is more about like family and like being an adult. And I feel like this is like in the same vein as that, where it's like sort of like people who maybe like are tired of work, maybe like me. So I'm just wondering, I'm just speculating here. I think this may be a central theme in anemoi about like work culture and
Empy, you just sounded like Shiki right there. You make me work?
You make me work? Yeah, no.
It was really funny.
I will throw out one little tidbit here, just to like bring it up, because Summer Pockets specifically sold itself on its summer vacation. It did not actually sell itself on nostalgia. Now, it was nostalgic by proxy of the fact that many people who are reading Summer Pockets haven't experienced a summer vacation in a while. So they're like, this is nostalgic. But this is the first work in 25 years of Key since canon to explicitly bring up nostalgia in its overarching themes. As like, this is part of why we are making this, is nostalgia. Because canon, one of its big things is childhood nostalgia. Now this one's just vague, like, just the general term nostalgia, but it is the first time in 25 years that we have gotten another work where its explicit selling point is that it's nostalgic.
And it's not being won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge stuff.
So I'm very interested to see if this is kind of what I'm hoping that they don't do is it's not like canon in the sense where, it's like secretly this is like some weird plot where he never actually left the town or something. And, these are all characters that he's met before, inexplicably. But
if there's one thing I trust in plot with is Key, but I would also rather just like them play it straight.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what their nostalgia factor is, because like I was instantly nostalgic the moment I heard that preview soundtrack that they had for the
Such a good
PV.
track.
It's such a good track for being like not enough. I'm like, I need more. And I'm still holding true. Well, anemoi itself is not like a word that relates to anything related to nostalgia. Anemoia is a word for nostalgia of a time in which you did not live. So I'm still holding to the idea that maybe that will play. It's too much of a coincidence. It's literally one letter off. For it
Yeah.
to be like,
I definitely feel the same way in regards to that. I think it's a really good theory.
because anemoia is literally the nostalgia for a time you've never lived in. So, like, for example, the people in my generation who love listening to 80s music or like watching VHS tapes, that and seeing like stuff from like that type of media is very much a like example of anemoia nostalgia. Like whenever you watch like something like Stranger Things or something, and you're like, man, 80s were so cool. And you kind of feel like you've been there, but you haven't. That's kind of like what that word means. So I'll be curious.
Yeah. So that's really what they gave us on anemoi. A lot of it is really just like, go look at the art. It's really pretty. I'm gonna kind of rapid fire the other stuff because a lot of it's like event related to Japan, which we don't talk a lot about on this podcast. But like, but I'll mention them. We are getting a new KSL Live, both a vocal and an instrumental one, which will be coming sometime in the next year. We are, yes, Canon and Summer Pockets and Clanad are all getting cafes. There's going to be a whole bunch of merch coming out, including a Shooter Hop birthday set, which I really want to get. The other really big thing that they mentioned is to be on the Key website on the 29th of June, because that is the 6th anniversary of Summer Pockets, and
6 years, oh my god.
Sayuki Shun mentioned that there's going to be something that starts with A and ends with A on it, so like it's the Summer Pockets anime. We're getting a Summer Pockets anime announcement in 2 weeks. Like,
let's go.
We better. We've been waiting a goddamn. Oh, it's been 6 years. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also the other big one: illustrations of almost every key heroine and also probably Kyosuke will be coming throughout the year. So check the website. They'll all be wearing like formal wear, like the one that we got of Shooter that is in our. That is on the 25th anniversary site.
When are we getting Kyosuke after?
They did not tease Kyosuke after.
The day that we get the day we get Ao's formal wear and the day we get Rin's formal wear, I can die happy. I need them to drop them.
I'm already happy with Shooter Like, she's so beautiful. And I love that she has kind of become the new Kanade. Kanade can go away. She's outlived her useful life.
I don't mind her, but I definitely think
Shooterha's better in every way. Like,
anyways, moving on from the hot takes. This is not key hot takes today.
You have Lucci as your co-host. You're gonna get hot takes.
Anyways, I think, in more important news, it was briefly mentioned that Kosai Toshi will be quote-unquote massive.
Oh, yes, I forgot about this one.
And I want to know how massive and how much of a hole in my heart it's going to leave.
I'm a little nervous about it.
I mean, if it's massive, they're confident. Like if they're using words like big and huge, I'm ready.
I am nervous.
Matsuyama, I have full trust.
I do too. I know it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be late. And I mentioned this last week. I don't think it's coming this year. I feel like if it was coming this year, they would have mentioned more of it today.
I don't think so. I think we'll get it. I think we're gonna get an I think it's gonna be one of those slots on the 25th anniversary.
Probably.
don't want to make any like guesses. What I will say is I don't mind waiting for Matsuyama work because I know it's gonna be good. Like
Same.
that's
I
my
don't mind
take, is
waiting
that
either.
let them cook. Like
I
just let
just
them cook.
I don't mind waiting at all. I just think we're gonna have to wait. Like,
Yeah, I hope we get like a 15 to 16 hour kinetic novel is what I'm hoping. Give me something juicy, like
yeah.
to dig my teeth into. Big meal, like a burger.
All right. Do we have anything else to talk about news related? We will definitely be having another one of these once we get more info. But a lot of it is just,
We're getting
hey,
one
go
of these
look.
every 2 weeks. Help.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that frequent, but I don't know.
At this rate, at least Summer Pockets is gonna be the next
2
one.
weeks
That's
from now,
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
get a Summer Pockets one.
That's what I mean. We've literally
yes.
gotten like 3 in a row. 3 2 weeks in a row, I mean.
And
Yeah.
then watch, they'll drop Kosai Toshi news, and then we'll have to do another one.
Or Loopers Plus. Don't
We have
forget
delayed
they did
so
not
many
they did not mention that
podcasts.
today. They did not mention Loopers Plus
and
today, but it's still coming.
And watch, they'll
so.
be like, oh yeah, and by the way, there's a new Key original anime. We have news on that as well.
Still-
and
Oh
Bye
my
Bye
God.
Studios is the one doing it, and it's gonna be 2 core. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, and HBR is getting an anime, or HBR English release, and then I'll have to do an HBR
my
book
Lord.
club. And it's gonna be all sorts of craziness because Key just loves to mess with our schedule, is what I'm noticing. It
Yep.
really does feel pointed. Anytime we're like, finally, we have a schedule in place for these events that are happening. Key's
Nope!
like, you
Psych!
thought.
We have to shove it all in. Yep. That's why we're doing these news episodes like half
Someone
an hour
put that in the
earlier.
dumb shit channel, please. What Empy just said.
I'm sorry.
We have to shove it all in. Actually, I think that's a great note to end the episode on.
Exactly. For those who will
We're
see the
insane.
Coot episode later, hope you enjoy. For those who are only here for anemoi, that is fair. It is hype. Please appreciate my thumbnail. I spent way too long trying to figure out how to get all 5 of the girls into one thumbnail.
It looks really pretty.
I can't even do it properly on like a banner, like because they have a different elevation. I have to like rotate it if I want them all on the same head height.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
you could probably just, I can send you the banner dimension version of anemoi without any of like the Key Radio branding. That would.
I'd appreciate that. I want to rep them.
All right, y'all. So that's a wrap for now, but we'll definitely be back with more Key Radio news when we get that Summer Pockets anime announcement. So, peace, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Keep well. Thank you for joining.